Yodakiller here. Welcome back to the Hyperspace Cube channel. Today, Cad Bane strikes back. It's been a while since I've done a Cad Bane video, but with the results from Richmond, it's time. I just want to start off with a little bit talking about Seattle, give some shout outs to my teammates, talk a little bit about Cad Bane and what it looks like going forward, especially with PQ season coming up. We got a regional Lil happening in about I would say what this weekend, I think May 3rd, and yeah, we'll go from there. So since Beattle happened at the end of March, the Bothan Invitation, it was such a great time to hang out with my friends. Just we had a Bothan house. It was just great. We did cube a little bit with the team, so everyone got to see my pimped out cube and have fun drafting. We also got to, I would ask around people that I met for their favorite card and ask them to sign my cube cards. So that was fun. I have a picture here with Mickey, and, Chris, and Jeff, and then I got to be my boy Sharky. So that was a good time. So lots of you know people that were content creators were there. So it was really nice to put a lot of faces to the name. So it was really cool. I ended up getting Boston Purple. We got fifth place in the 3v3 competition. I was playing Blonde Sabine. Then I got 17th in the one of the 6Ks with Blonde Sabine. So it was just such a great time, a different vibe. With Django and stuff, I had to play something to kind of beat that deck. And yeah, just Cad wasn't doing so hot into it, so only played it one of the days. But this is a new meta, so let's talk a little bit about Richmond. All the Bothans that went there all made day two. There was a lot of like win and in moments, and only Daniel, which we'll talk about in a little bit, Mephisto ended up making top cut with Cad Bane. So huge shout out to Chris, Rodney Stubbs, 34th place. The Raymaster, amazing to be consistent, to crush with Ray, continue to put that on the map. He's just such a master with that deck. It's really spicy. So if you want love Ray, give it a try. With 28th place, George the Hulk, of course. George, entire goal was to try to get that set one showcase and mission accomplished. He tried all colors. I'm sure he'll make a video and talk about it, but green was the one he settled with, and it was just really, really nice to see the process of him innovating, designing, going through decks, playtesting, and seeing him do really well. We got to see him on stream too. Crispy, 23rd place, man. Congrats with a spicy Hantu Data Vault. So give that a try as well. Such an insane deck with just so many things going on, which is awesome. Cluis, 20th place. Hell of a Quinlan player. And super proud of him to be able to do this well with a great deck and mad skills, man. He was my teammate in the 3v3, Bothan Purple. And then Lake, 15th place with Qi'ra Data Vault. All these in contention, just winning ends. Just just hard, but great competition to get to do all this well in a field of like 585 people. Amazing. Goes to the testament of hard work and testing. I'm really proud. And then of course Mephisto made top cut with Cad Bane. We kind of see lost first round to Boba 4. When you lose the first round or those early rounds, you start getting placed into like crazy decks. So it was really nice to see him claw all the way back, and just continue to crush, make day two, and then make top cut. Let's talk a little bit about his list. I'll talk a little bit about my list in a few, but really loved seeing Bamboozle. I think it's just an important card right now with all these pilots. The Dark Sabers rolling around. You got some space units. You got Jabba. Relentless Pursuit, I'll talk about later. Such an amazing card. One of the differences that I've had between my version and his version is, going back to Ruthless Trader, I think that was a really smart call, with popularity of control decks and having the ability to get that damage out of hand with Sneak. In the sideboard, you can kind of see that if he ever went late game, he had Devastators, which is, with Sneak is insane. So, and then Cham is really a great card too into control. So, kudos to you, man. Amazing job. Wish we'd have, would have got first place. That would have been so amazing. Cat takes down Sector, but amazing. I hope other people can continue to, you know, pick this deck up and crush with it. I did want to give a huge shout out to Evan. Um, Hustler won. He got 29th place. He's also in contention to make top cut. He ended up actually using my list. We talked about, I think on Thursday before the weekend, and he was like, "Hey, I'm thinking about playing Cad Bane. How confident are you in your deck?" And I'm like, "If I was going to Richmond, I would play it." So I feel very honored that he decided to play my exact list, and yeah, he just kept crushing with it. It ended day one with a 7-1 record. So I also kind of went with a route with Shoot First. I think Shoot First is just so important right now against these units. We have the IG 2000 take care of a lot of annoying shield units. I thought maybe there would be a little bit more green blue heroism, and it had Bulba Pilot, which is great to play on the ground to kind of dodge barrage. I didn't know if Piet 2 was going to be something, but definitely a strong deck. And sideboard had Fennec just in case, Snoke, blue green heroism was going to pop up. The occasional lurking tie and no disintegration for just big units that you just can't deal with. Okay, so congrats, kudos, Evan. All right, let's talk a little about Qi'ra. Qi'ra is a meta player. We got to watch out for her. I mean, 33 health is not that easy to get to take down. So cards that we have to be very cognizant of is No Glory, which is kind of why I was hesitant to ever like. I didn't include Raiders at all. I didn't have them in my main deck. So consideration is not to get blown out by No Glory. Super Laser Blast and Traders as well. So kind of the balance of, do you want to play pilots and make a big 6/6 or 4/6 unit and then have that taken away? And we have to worry about Super Laser Blast. So we got to be cognizant of that. Sabine came back firing and ended up winning the tournament. One of the most annoying cards that Sabine has is Chewbacca. So it's kind of really important to really keep board control and not get blown out by the, turn one unit into turn two pilot. Dark Saber and Poe and Wrecker are just important cards that you need Bothan and McClunky for to be able to kind of strip as much um, as possible from their hand and try to close them out before they can get you. Then you got Han Green, which again, Chewbacca, Falcon, Han Solo, a lot of damage that can happen from space. Cards too that you just really have to import on site, kill the Falcon, and deal with Chewbacca. And then Quinlan, of course, an amazing deck, and keep him off coordinate. So these are decks that you're going to be seeing at your PQs. I'm sure these are what I consider the top decks in the meta. Cassian Andor is a very annoying unit. Any of the X5s, Qi'ras, and Ahsoka, just a lot of stats on the board. Plo Koon always have to watch out for, and then of course never get blown out by the Force Throw. So I kind of wanted to just touch a little bit about cards against Qi'ra that are pretty good. Sham, just to be able to, when they ramp, stay on point with them and be able to flip early. So well-timed Sham's going to help you out. Boba, I think he's really great on the ground and being a pilot. So just having a shield and kind of dodging barrage is super key, or a ambush from Vader or a ball. And then Bazine to take those answers either by taking a super laser blast or protecting your Cad Bane or your unit that you're trying to close out the game with. To include or not, this is kind of the situation against Qi'ra is, if you want Ruthless Raider, which I think is one of the most important cards in previous sets before No Glory was printed, was being able to have the damage from your hand or be able to sneak attack with it. And then Lurky Time Phantom, another great card too. Even though there's perilous position, I think a lot of people decided not to play any Snokes. Not sure if that's going to change, but this is one of those things. It's either do you include both or do you include one or the other? That's kind of the thing that I'm still toying with. I know a lot of people have kind of asked about, control, how much do I have to sideboard for it? And here's just some general principles that I have to go and when I play against controls, I feel like very comfortable playing into it. I think just testing with so many control players on the Bothan Network team, you just you learn a lot, you pick up a lot, and so over the time, I've really gotten really good when playing against it. So one of the big things is having 2 units on the board, super important. Like even if they're 1-for-1ing you, just before you even flip CAD or you swing with one of your big units, try to have another unit out there to kind of mitigate you getting blown out by a part of the Dark Side or Merciless contest. Brazine is just a great card you can utilize, whether it be to take a ramp card or a removal card or a super laser blast. Just use it when necessary. Use it to protect your line. Use it to protect your board. So you can do it on turn 7, like resource 7 for them, or right before they're going to super laser blast to see what they have and pick that off. Also, lean in to stop resourcing. I think you can get away with, if you haven't drawn Cad Bane unit, don't go to 7. If you've drawn it, go to 7. But like, there's a moment in time where you can stop resourcing comfortably, so that every 2 cards that you draw is just gas. And basically, you kind of just want to run them out of answers. Just don't overextend the board, because that's the thing with control, right? Is they're trying to kind of get you to run out of threats, run you out of threats, and then stick a big unit out to kill you. And so the more that you stop resourcing, you can start, having 2 units on the board and make them answer it. Put another 2 units on the board, make them answer it, and eventually you can start chipping in damage and then run them out of those big answers. And put them in an uncomfortable situation where they can't really tap out for an Avenger, they can't really tap out, for a unit to put a barrage on if you just are continuing to apply pressure. So those are kind of my little tips that I have into control. Some principles into Quinlan is just to keep them off coordinate. So, some of the time, with all the practice that I have against Cluis or against, Mickey and seeing them play, it really helps me feel comfortable in that matchup. So that's one of the things that I've noticed is like keeping them off that coordinate. Bait them into using Target Town early while also saving yours. I think that's like a big key is making them use it. So you're allowed then from there to like play your big units out there like Zuckus and Orlom or even Bosk without out of the way and comfortably feel like okay just playing them and not ambushing and waiting for the next turn to do something powerful with them. I would advise too, like save your Tarkin Town for Poe, Plo, Cassian, Qi'ra. Like, yes, using it early is fine, but like, I didn't see any Poes. So that does that mean that like in Richmond, so does it mean that people are going to be not playing Poe, which is I think is great. Then it allows us to use it early, so it kind of depends. And then of course Plo won't be as incredible too if you can keep him off the coordinate. But if not, it's important to take that off the board. And then of course Jabba. Jabba is one of the most problematic units for Quinlan. It's just that 8th health. So if you can put a hotshot blaster on it, 4-8 is not easy for them to deal with. And then of course Cad Leader 2 is one of your biggest tools against them. Another reason for Jabba is it keeps cards in your hand. You can go ahead and dig for Shoot First, and dig for McClunky, and hold those cards. I love to hold, I stop resourcing as well too, and I like to start holding cards in hand, and so I don't get blown out by force throw. Right, that's the biggest thing. Is you start putting stuff on the board and leaving your high threat units in your hand, you can get easily blown out by force throw. So, love keeping those little like McClunkies and Shoot First, anything cheap in hand, just so I'm prepared for the force throw because I know it's coming. All right, so some important cards to play right now. Relentless Pursuit. I mean, this is the only way right now that you can easily deal with someone putting a Chewie on a pilot. So you can easily just use your units to capture it and get that thing leaf played. Bamboozle, also another important answer. It can be fetched with Jabba. Pilot decks are real, either on green, or Sabine with a dark saber, or even when Sabine plays the blue leader. Yeah, just be able to like take those experience off of it, or tap down problematic units, or if you can't deal with the Poe, take initiative, tap it down, first action, really important. And then we got Shoot First, which is also pretty key too, to be able to combat like Sabine, combat Quinlan, combat even Qi'ra. So right now, I think these are cards that are like really super important to play in Cad Bane going forward. So if I were to play in a PQ tomorrow, this is the deck that I would sleeve up. I have here kind of a similar list that I had previously that I haven't played, but I decided to put Gamble guards on the board. I went ahead and put Ruthless Raider for in the board with Sneak Attack, and then Sham in there. So it's kind of like my control package would be 3 Ruthless, 2 Sham, and then 2 Sneak. And then for Sabine and problematic um, decks like that want to go Voltron on you, the No Good to Me Dead, and the Gamos. So those are kind of my package alongside with like Shoot First. Houndstooth is also an incredibly important card to combat space. So this is kind of what I would play in the future. I'm still testing. I have a PQ coming up. So this is kind of, yeah, give this a test, give this a try. Let me know what you think. I'll be streaming in the Discord channel this week and prepping for my PQ. And yeah, hit me up if you have any questions, either in Discord or here on YouTube. So thanks for watching, everyone, and may you continue to crush. And until next time.